really are. These are very high-level players. I'm curious to see what their next move is going to be. Looks like NEXGenius is actually going to go ahead and take out the destructible rocks. That'll allow them to get the gold minerals. These minerals give you an income much quicker. And that means that Loner's going to be forced to either expand himself over here or attack.
Now, I still wonder if NEXGenius is getting those Colossi a little bit quickly. He does have enough for a Nexus right now, but the big problem with getting high-tech units too quickly is that they're so expensive, and this is a big window for NEXGenius to be able to take another expansion to get more money up so he can win a little bit later. Notice he's warping in all these units, getting all these upgrades. There's another Banshee at the far right that it looks like he'll be able to pick off. Loner does manage to escape, but with all this really everything that NEXGenius is getting, the only thing he's not getting is an expansion, which I think is really going to hurt him as the game progresses.
That's right. When you get ahead in StarCraft 2, you really have to get more ahead, not try to kill your opponent. And how you do that is taking another expansion. But NEXGenius looks like he has no intention of doing so. So these players are still just going to mass up a lot of units, and we're probably going to see a very big confrontation in the middle in a couple minutes here.
Yeah, continuing on what you were saying about getting more ahead, if you were doing what NEXGenius is doing, looks like this Banshee is under fire again. I think this Banshee pilot is literally living on only adrenaline. He has had to, I wouldn't go for it. I would actually retreat, Loner. You have 5 health. Oh, sorry.
That was close.
I just had to relieve some tension in my shoulders after that one. That was
I need to take some Xanax. That was pretty stressful. So the Banshee is moving back. Banshee harassment has not been particularly successful in this game.
No, you know, he's lost a lot of Banshees. If you actually count them up, yeah, he's killed some probes. Yeah, he's made NEXGenius run around a little bit. But he's really lost, what, 4 Banshees so far? Imagine if he had 5 more Banshees in his army. It would be so much more powerful.
But the big danger is that no expansion up yet for NEXGenius. If you make a huge army like NEXGenius, you're pretty much hoping that your opponent attacks you at a time when you actually have a lot of units. But as we see, Loner is actually getting an expansion command center, so that big attack that NEXGenius is preparing for won't actually come.
And at the exact same time, we have a probe sitting here at the gold base. It looks like NEXGenius and Loner, may they take bases at almost the exact same time again?
You see these guys are so evenly matched. In the way they expand, nobody is ahead for too much longer than the other player. By the way, I can't believe Loner's back in this position considering how late this base was actually taken.
That's right. A lot of bad things can happen when you throw away an army like NEXGenius did. He got overzealous, tried to finish the game. That is not what StarCraft is about. It's about building your economy. And he has really paid for that in letting Loner back in here. So it looks like these two both going to expand at almost the same time. The command center is flying over to the gold base. Nexus warping in, but Loner will get a little bit ahead in economy right now.
They're literally going to get the bases at the exact same time.
Yeah, but you know, I think that Loner is going to be in a little bit better of a position. He has more of the army mix that he wants. NEXGenius is still trying to get those Colossus, or excuse me, still trying to get those Templar with his Colossus, and Loner still being very bold with a 5 hit point Banshee, and it looks like, oh my goodness, NEXGenius is going to go for it. Has a ton of speed zealots swarming in here, but there's the stim. Oh my goodness, look at how many Marines and Marauders there are in that army, and Colossi coming from all angles, but the siege tanks in the back are dealing huge damage, and Loner is forcing NEXGenius to retreat.
Wow, beautiful hold there by Loner. Really great point defense drones. It stopped the Stalkers from doing any damage to his army, and now NEXGenius is in trouble. It looks like he's still poking and prodding, but as you see here, Loner at 146 supply against just 129 of NEXGenius, and I mean, that tells the story right there. Loner is in the lead.
The Nexus is done. He didn't cancel it. He has to keep this Nexus alive. Is he going to just give it up?
Well, it looks like he's trying to engage, but he is in an awkward position. Zealots are caught behind everything. There's the stim and the Vikings from the right doing a ton of damage to the Colossus, but how is NEXGenius eating through that army? More Zealots getting warped in. He does manage to take out the army of Loner. I thought Loner was playing so cautiously, but NEXGenius pulls a miracle.
That was actually amazing. I have no idea how that happened. And it is back to almost even here. 107 supply against 113. Both of them have their third bases up. And these two, this is actually the most even match I have ever seen. More so even than Damaga and White Raw.
I have no idea how NEXGenius won that.
Yeah, I don't know. I was actually about to say, I thought he was going to lose that battle.
We almost just collectively went GG.
I'm glad I didn't try to call that before it actually happened. So we have 4 Colossi, whatever you want to call them.
Colossi?
Not the easiest unit to cast in the game. They are now going to move forward and try to just control the Xel'Naga watchtower. As you can see here for NEXGenius, he needs to know if these tanks unsiege, if these tanks unsiege like they are now, so he knows to get in a position to defend. Meanwhile, as you can see for Loner scans, he wants to see what's going on up here.
And the big problem that Loner is making right now, it looks like he is slowly trying to siege forward, but you know, even though this push might seem good, he might even be able to get some units. He's trying to target fire Colossus. He gets 1 Colossus.
Whoa.
Oh, and he will be able to pull out, but I still think the mistake he is making is trying to do too many front pushes. NEXGenius has one army that all has to stay together. If Loner did a drop in the main of NEXGenius, if he even walked a couple of units around the side, he would be able to do so much damage, but Loner is being way too passive at this phase in the game.
You know, Day9, you are so smart because that is so right. He needs to split up what NEXGenius is doing, and by pushing the front, he just plays into the little choke area that NEXGenius wants him to be in right here. As you see, the Colossus are going to do a lot more damage in that area. Loner needs to just sit, you know, take a 4th base and harass. Going through this area is not the place he wants to engage.
Looks like he wants to bait him back over here. Get these Vikings in here. The battle begins again.
The Vikings hitting these Colossus, 1 down. Looks like the second will fall soon, and he is kiting right back to that planetary fortress. These Vikings are making the difference, though. 1 Colossus left, and Loner is in even a better position than before, perhaps.
And it looks like he, takes out all the Colossi, and those poor Archons, too slow from the concussive shell, gonna get kited so well, and now Loner is darting up, gonna be able to pick off an Immortal. The Vikings land. Loner is trying to end this base right now, but NEXGenius, again, with a huge surge of forces from nowhere, might be able to hold this off. That 1 Immortal's doing so much damage, he needs to kill it off, but he's not target firing, and there it goes down. Will he be able to stay alive?
I can't believe this. It looks like he is gonna fight it off, but he lost all his Vikings during that. So if NEXGenius holds this off, which it looks like he's going to, Loner cannot easily replace so many Vikings, which did almost nothing during that battle. It was completely overzealous and uncalled for.
That was a disaster. When he landed that, I thought, oh no. Loner gave up his advantage. He should have kept those in the air and just picked off the Colossus and retreated. So we're back to an even game again. I can't believe this keeps happening.
116 to 121 supply. I can't believe it. These guys, they do so well to outplay each other and then throw away the advantage attacking in. What else can I say?
It seems like Loner every game has at least 1 Leroy Jenkins Marauder. And there's the Nexus up at the north going down, and that poor Marauder didn't manage to make his way home, but that 4th base from NEXGenius is exactly what he needs to be doing, but Loner is not doing what he needs to be doing, which is using medevacs for drops, moving around the map with small forces.
And it looks like right now, Loner's getting ready to take his 4th. Same timing as NEXGenius's 4th. These two are like a mirror.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Note this is an orbital command, not a planetary fortress, so that means you can call down mules, which are basically like super SCVs. You'll see them mining every once in a while. Well, none right now. Oh, wait, what? Are we gonna have a nuke?
There is a nuke.
There's a nuke building.
Nick.
There it is.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
and
it's
here,
a nuke.